as you mentioned a little bit earlier on, one of the purposes of creeds is to unite believers in an orthodox understanding of Scripture to help fight against heresy. As you worked on this project, were you surprised how many of the heresies that they were fighting against 16 or 1700 years ago are the same things that we fight against today, repackaged and relabeled, but essentially the same things?
Yeah, you're right. You're right, and that's what happens. I mean, Satan has no new tricks, and even not even just doctrinal heresies, but even what's going on in the world today. Like even right now, the transgenderism movement and sort of this confusion between sexes. I mean, you go read the Gnostic Gospels, and that's being advocated as a doctrine back in the second and third and fourth century. So again, even on a cultural basis, there's nothing new, but that's why the creeds are so helpful to us, because it articulates core essential doctrine, and they're oftentimes, especially with the Nicene Creed and the definition of Chalcedon, those are creeds and documents that come out of addressing heresy. There were four major heresies coming out of four major councils that produced those two statements. And so if we're familiar and understanding what these issues are and what the correct understanding of doctrine is to be, then you can root out the heresy. The oneness Pentecostal, movement, talking about the oneness of Jesus, the Jesus only movement, that there's modalistic tendencies, and we'll talk about that later, I'm sure, but it helps you identify and root out and correct heresy today. So I think a lot of times the reason heresy gets so prominent is because we forget, we don't know our history. We don't know what the Bible teaches. We don't know what the church has always believed. And if we know that, it just helps us to be able to evaluate these things more carefully.
Yeah.